A very good evening and a warm welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight on this 30th day of May 2024. I'm Lorene Masika Kazimoto, and we start off with our first headlining story this evening. The U.S. Department of State has designated 5 current and former government officials for alleged involvement in corruption and human rights abuse. These designations generally prevent the listed individuals from entering the United States.
5 current and former government officials for alleged involvement in corruption and human rights abuses. These designations generally prevent the listed individuals from entering the United States. These sanctions were contained in a press statement released by the U.S. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller. The designated individuals are Anita Among, the Speaker of Parliament, Mary Goreti Chitutu, the former Minister of Karamoja Affairs, Agnes Nandutu, the former Minister of State for Karamoja Affairs, Amos Lugolobi, the Minister of State for Finance, and Peter Elwelu, the former Deputy Chief of Defense Forces of the UPDF. The State Department alleges that the said individuals diverted aid from Uganda's most vulnerable communities for self-gain, thus the sanctions. For General Elwelu, his designation stems from accusations of involvement in alleged human rights violations. The announcement also mentions visa restrictions placed on spouses of the designated individuals.
Martin Mugara, the State Minister for Tourism, has applauded government for its support in developing museums and mapping a Martyrs trail which extends faith-based tourism and enhances security. He urged people to continuously visit Namugongo and other significant sites, emphasizing that the appeal goes beyond the annual Martyrs Day visit. He made these remarks during a media briefing by the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities at Media Center alongside Inter-Religious Committee and the security team.
Minister Mugara encouraged Ugandans to visit Namugongo and other museums, plus monumental sites, stating that such visits reflect on people's lives. He noted that the Namugongo Martyrs visit is the second biggest religious activity in Africa, with an estimated number of 300,000 pilgrims expected from across Africa and other parts of Europe.
Come to Namugongo, experience their museums. There is a lot of rich history. Even beyond the celebrations, whenever you have chance to, please come and partake. And all of you around that area use the opportunity to do some business. And I think this is the right time to put out a good image for the country.
Rook Oesijire, the deputy spokesperson for Kampala Metropolitan, assured pilgrims and residents that no incidents of crime have been reported so far, thanks to the robust security measures in place. He appealed to pilgrims to move in groups, carry identity cards, and wear reflectors at night to avoid accidents. Oesijire also urged pilgrims to make use of the security units put in place, such as the Child and Family Protection Units and helplines in case of any security alarms.
No incidents of crime or safety concerns have been reported. Pilgrims are still trekking on foot to Kampala. We are appealing to pilgrims to stay in groups to help draw strength from their spiritual journey. Due to the unpredictable weather, we appeal to them to carry clothing, IDs, mobile phone, light bags, reflectors. Within the setting of the different venues, we have included a Child and Family Protection Unit tent, which will be on the lookout for the children that are suspected to be missing from their parents, or adults who could be having some conditions and they might not be able to communicate very well. That tent is there, and we appeal to members of the public to be on the lookout for it in case you have any person missing.
Abbas Sechanzi, the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council Secretary General, announced that the Muslims will be commemorating the Muslim Martyrs starting on June 7th with a dua and Juma prayers in Namugongo. He praised the government and the Ministry of Tourism for their continuous support to the pilgrims.
On the 7th of June, where we will be having a special dua or prayer at Namugongo. We will also have our Juma prayers, which are held every Friday at Namugongo. But we are also going to learn by way of having scholarly presentations starting that Friday. We want to understand and make sure everyone else understands what martyrdom is like in the Islamic faith.
Rebecca Nantongo, Aisha Musanya, UBC News.
Pilgrims and Christians at the memorials of Saint Balikudembe and Saint Athanasi have expressed concern over the potential eviction of their martyrs' site due to ongoing land disputes. Bishop Emmanuel Lubaga mentioned that preparations for the pilgrimage were hindered as construction materials were stolen.
Pilgrims gathered at the shrine of Martyr Bazeketa and Saint Balikudembe in Owino to celebrate the Memorial Day. The service, led by Father Chambade, included a chorus of songs and a call for honesty and faithfulness to God. Despite a smooth service, ongoing renovations at the site faced significant challenges. A budget of 100 million shillings was allocated for improvements, including speaker installation, but the work has been obstructed by local opposition. Bishop Lubega highlighted issues with proper road access, leading to difficulties such as jumping sowers.
Mutuuka ku kino ne mugenda mu office eno nebakkiriza eno nebagaana eno nebakkiriza ate omuntu wa bulijjo ate n'abagaana kati bitusomoozezza nnyo tutuuse mu offices nyingi.
Bishop Lubega emphasized the importance of martyr sites for the nation's religious heritage and dignity. He called on the government to protect these sites from violence and destruction.
Ate n'eri abakkiriza nga bwe mulaba nti buli lwa 3 Juni abantu bangi bagenda e Namugongo naye abo be tulaba naye ennaku zino zonna ezisigadde abantu basigala balamaga kuva buli omu gy'akoze eki gy'avudde.
Bale Tadeo, the chief catechist, stated that Chairman Sad Lukwago has been threatening them, but they remain determined to preserve the site. Construction supervisor Sejengo mentioned that road issues had even caused them to miss hosting former Tanzanian President Julius Nyerere's wife. Despite approvals from city authorities, local resistance has led to theft of their equipment. They appealed to President Museveni for intervention, displaying signposts to save church land. Attempts to reach Chairman Sad Lukwago for comment were unsuccessful. Meanwhile, pilgrims continue to visit for blessings and to honor the martyrs. Benon Mukwaya, Jamil Sekaja, UBC.
Now, if you ever doubted that being disabled is not the end of everything, Tome Roth, David and Eric Mugonjabero are here to prove you wrong. Now, despite their disabilities, they had no reason to miss this year's Martyrs' Day celebrations at Namugongo. Now, the two, along with a colleague, are among the over 1,000 pilgrims who arrived at the Catholic shrines on Wednesday, after trekking nearly 450 kilometers from Nebi Diocese. Robert Onyango reports.
On Tuesday, May 29, 2024, pilgrims from Nebi Diocese arrived at the Namugongo Catholic shrines. Among those who made it to the shrines are these 3 gentlemen, all living with disabilities.
The journey was okay. Even yesterday when I reached here, I was feeling some headaches, but I went for medicine. I got by now, I'm feeling well.
I thank God because I've made it yesterday. Right now we are in Namugongo.
Roth and Eric are both from Nebi district, while their colleague is a resident of Pakwach.
Yeah, the reason that I've been moving, I wanted God to answer my prayer, but I know God have already started answering my prayer by giving me opportunity and the health. He has been protecting me, even it's still protecting me from home up to here.
Besides successfully making it to Namugongo, the journey's experience is worth recalling.
Why have you walked all this far from Nebi to Namugongo?
Chakai, pera ngomi wutu eni. Say that you have walked all along because of his faith, and all along his journey there was no sickness which affected him on the way.
Some of the prayer which has been answered is just because among the prayers, one of them was just, God help me, I wish Namugongo. But God has answered, I'm now in Namugongo.
In a journey full of endurance, none of them regrets making the trek.
One is protection. God should protect my families. Secondly, God should provide for me school fees for my children. And then thirdly, if God can provide me a electronic bike, it will be much better.
Even the Israelites, things was not easy for them when they were on the journey, but at the time they enter in Canaan, they enjoy it. They feel like they are at their home. Even me also, right now, I'm feeling like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
But can they walk the 450 kilometers back home after 3rd June? A brave no came from all of them.
Are you also riding it back to Nebi after the Martyrs' Day celebrations on Monday?
No, they say that going back we are going to use a vehicle.
Why can't you test and try? Like, let me ride back to Nebi.
Okay, riding it back to Nebi, it may be easy, but it's not easy because I cannot ride it alone. Because we came in a large number, but now the rest are going with the vehicle. Even other people that are going to remain here in Kampala.
Nebi is admitting this year's Martyrs' Day Mass, and these 3 gentlemen are almost at the forefront of the diocese's delegation.
The professors have said it so many times that disability is not inability. And this is the story these 3 gentlemen have shared with us, meaning that you are not in that particular place because you are meant to be there, but you have only chosen to stay there because you have not taken a step to move forward. I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News here at Namugongo Catholic Shrines.
Robert Onyango, you indeed got it out of my mouth. Disability is not inability, indeed. And of course, a big congratulations to the gentleman who made the journey of faith to Namugongo. In more news this evening, it was a day of praise and worship as Christians at the Namugongo Anglican Martyrs site during the mission crusade led by the provincial head of mission, Reverend Simon Peter Dembelya-Yesu. The crusade, which began at 8 a.m., is scheduled to continue throughout the night until midnight.
As the much anticipated Martyrs Dawn June 3rd approaches, various events are taking place at the Anglican Martyrs site. On Thursday, those who gathered participated in a mission crusade, where praise and worship failed that day. Christians were also deeply engaged in prayer. Reverend Simon Peter Dembelya-Yesu, the provincial head of mission for Church of Uganda, led the mission.
We invite everyone from the different denominations, from the different religions, whichever religion you are, denomination you are, we invite you in this Namugongo Mission Week. Come, because you must hear the gospel. Scripture says, how will they know unless someone tells them? So we are now doing the telling. We are meeting people in different places. And we know by the end of it all, lives will be transformed.
Leading the mission, Reverend Simon Peter Dembelya-Yesu highlighted the program for the crusade, which will extend late into the night.
So the mission is what we call, in the outside mission, we would say door to door. But here there are no doors. So we are meeting people on their stalls, those that are selling chapatis, those that are selling food, those that are selling clothes, Bibles, we know that many people are into business, but they don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ. After that evening session of the gospel preaching, we shall get into a movie. We have a movie before we begin the overnight, which we will have different speakers that come on, and we shall do healing and deliverance sessions.
Among the key focuses during the crusade include the voice of corruption in the country, promoting peace, praying for families, as explained by Reverend Demberia Yesu.
We shall take time to pray for the church. We shall take time to go deeper in repentance. This country needs to repent. There is a lot that calls for repentance. This country needs the vindication. The Lord is with us. We thank God that we have Christian leaders. We thank God for that. But it doesn't mean that we can't pray for them. We are going to pray for them. There is a lot that people are using the Christianity to do nasty things. And as Christians, we want to say, no. Stay a Christian.
Tomorrow Friday will feature an engagement with women under the umbrellas of Mothers Union and Christian Women's Fellowship. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Thank you, Deborah Namamonde. Now, as hundreds throng Namugongo Martyrs Shrine to celebrate the 45 martyrs who died for their faith, we explore the nature of their faith and what it means to many pilgrims who walk miles to honor their legacy. Take a look.
What makes one to believe the unseen? What makes one walk miles without getting tired? Here is the untold story.
Scenes of pilgrims walking long distances from their homes, with some confessing to making the same trek year after year. On arrival, men, women and children can be seen in prayer and meditation, presenting their burdens at the sculptures of the fallen martyrs. It is said that matters of faith can only be explained by one who has prayed and witnessed miracles happen.
Faith is believing without seeing. That's what we call faith. If you can believe without seeing, we people believe in touching, seeing, but faith is about believing what you don't see.
Because I believe in God. Since I was born, nakiriza nnyo mu Katonda chovola banange ngambe lero kansale umve bukasa muscles eri mbachikire nzije nange ndabeko.
I'm praying because of I felt very bad because of the being there to be died very badly as a martyr. Oh, they crucified for themselves as Jesus Christ. Yes.
The martyrs at Namugongo Shrine, slain by Kabaka Mwanga in his efforts to curb Christian influence and regain traditional powers over his subjects, did not deter Christians, but rather strengthened their faith.
That in spite of them being very far away, you can remember those jungles of those days, and believing that there is a creator who created heaven and earth, and through him he gave his son, our Lord Jesus Christ. They were able to believe and were able to shed their blood because of Jesus Christ.
The strength and belief in Jesus for many extends to the afterlife, with a conviction that one day they will be resurrected.
They not be able to see those who died on our behalf, like St. Charles Wanga, Karoli Wanga, and all the rest. But we believe that they were there, they lived here, they moved around here. We believe that they also tasted the food we are tasting.
Every year, June 23rd, when most of the martyrs were killed, is marked as a national holiday in Uganda. It is also observed worldwide on the church calendar as a day to honor the martyrs. Jane Nyuramcha, Emon Ngabo for UBC News.
Over 800 pilgrims have so far sought emergency medical services from health management tents set up to handle first aid services and referrals at both Namugongo Catholic and Protestant shrines.
As days draw closer to the commemoration of 2024 Uganda Martyrs Day, over 800 pilgrims from different parts of the country have so far sought emergency health services at medical camps set up at Namugongo. The manager, Kampala Central Uganda Red Cross Society, Osbert Eserugo, noted that most of the pilgrims present fatigue, red eyes, fever, and others with severe cases of malaria and food poisoning.
Yesterday we had a case of red eyes. So far today we have also received 2 of them, one old woman in between 60 to 65 years and some other young lady of around 45 years of age. Those cases are also being registered. Some are suffering from food poisoning because of the food they eat along the way. We had cases of conversions yesterday, 2 kids, both of them in the range of 2 to 3 months. The mothers reported here yesterday the kids were bad off. Fortunately enough, we were able to work on them and then later on refer them to Zia Angelique here for further management.
Pilgrims who sought medical care from the tents were advised to always put their health first by knowing their health status before advancing on the journey for proper management, and always put on comfortable shoes.
People need to choose the type of shoes they put on in the first case, most especially like canvas shoes, because they are friendly in walking. Yesterday we received a gentleman from Nebi who had cases of diabetes and they were triggered by walking. Blood pressure. If you have blood pressure, please, we would advise that you don't walk because it is tedious, it requires a lot of energy. You walk long distances and there is no rest. Sometimes they don't get medication along the way. So we really would advise that someone with such chronic illnesses would stay home and pray from home.
The medical teams on the ground assured pilgrims, those on the way and already at Namugongo Catholic and Protestant shrines, of safety and ready to handle any case of emergency. By press time, thousands of pilgrims were still arriving at Namugongo to be part of the annual commemoration of Uganda Martyrs Day. Zahra Abigaba, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with more stories after these messages.
Sigikira mulimo gwenkola gukanikira babakasitoma bupawa sobuni. Kimba n'obwire obwokutwala sente isomero ati nti wamukolesa enkola ya MTN mobile money ni migasita 1065 star 8 nintekamu kodi namba y'omwana genda sente ninsasola ku lungi ntaino kuterimanizwa kono katunga esimu kuluga mu MTN bantereire kubantereire okubanza ntakikirize nkaba amanyire bali bafere hanyuma nagenda nakakuza MTN yao nagamba ntungire simu ino kuluga mu MTN kyamazima okuba nkaba ntamanyire nti aliyo promotion hanyuma madam akola MTN yangambira kyamazima kubasima muno mwebale muno akasente kabaire kenja kusasula school fees tamwe kujja bakasasuire akani nja kasasulira mu bagenzi baye abatabana mwebale muno.
Together we're unstoppable.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Welcome back from that break. In more news this evening, the ambassador of Japan to Uganda, His Excellency Sasayama Takuya, has had a courtesy visit at the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance Innovation Hub in Nakawa, aimed at strengthening collaboration between Japan and Uganda in the ICT sector. This visit underscores the ongoing collaboration between the ministry and the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA.
So His Excellency has come to see what we are doing, but also to understand what we are doing we have a project under the Ministry of ICT with JICA, the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, and that project that we call UJ Connect is aimed at building capacity for innovators, mentoring them to be able to do the right business plans and costings of their products. We are also getting on this project how these innovators can be able to pitch their products, because many times you only have limited time, or you only have 1 or 2, 3 minutes to talk about your innovation or sell it to someone who is supposed to be, buying it from you. So all these skills are being obtained under this project. We have some asks from the government of Japan with this project that is 4 years. We have walked 1 year down the journey, and we see we have really achieved a lot. The mentors we have, we are going to churn out. The business matching we have done. We need much more.
I understand your agency of investment promotion I understand it's the leading agency. And you're going to have a pavilion over there, both for business purposes and also some advocacy purposes. So it's a great opportunity for us to let know each other. So my government and my office, and together with JICA, would like to be a kind of platform at least. We do not maybe able not to invent a new business, but we can certainly facilitate to help those who need. So that's what I'm looking for, and I will do my best.
The Intergovernmental Authority on Development ministers in charge of education have agreed to support the education system among all member states. This decision was made during the 4th conference on IGAD ministers in charge of education held in Entebbe under the theme Towards Quality and Inclusive Education for All.
The conference brought together ministers in charge of education from IGAD, commissioners of education from IGAD region, and delegates from all IGAD member state governments.
IGAD Secretariat and IGAD member states.
The Minister of State for Sports and the chief guest, Peter Ogwang, highlighted Uganda's pivotal role in ensuring accessible education for all.
The question of Pan-Africanism. No wonder you are aware we host about 1.5 million refugees in our country. Our deliberations over the past 4 days have been underscored the critical role education plays in shaping the future of our nations and the broader IGAD region. The process of designing the Uganda qualification framework has already started, and we believe we will have it completed as soon as possible.
He also called upon other universities in the region to follow the example of Makerere University, which provides equal opportunities for non-Ugandans to gain admission to higher education programs.
And I want to thank Makerere University, and I call upon all other universities in the region within IGAD, and also call upon development partners. As Makerere is doing that, can I have Nairobi University do that? Can I have a university in Ethiopia do that? Can I have a university in Djibouti do that? This is the only way we can be able to celebrate our brothers and sisters.
Mira Musa, the refugee representative for IGAD, emphasized the challenges faced by refugees and urged member states to take immediate action.
And as refugees, we face challenge of free movement from country to country because of the requirements of visas and so many things that are going on.
Ministers of Education and representatives from member states presented reports on their targets and evaluated the challenges experienced in achieving educational goals.
The second also round of the scholarship has been announced with a submission deadline in June 24, and also we are committed to monitor the progress and also provide the necessary guidance.
As we are guided by the IGAD gender strategy, all these are very important. We are not only talking about the refugees, we are not talking about only the IDPs, but also the nomads. And I'm happy those issues were coming out in the past 3 days.
Also committed to Djibouti declaration of supporting these refugees. And in Sudan, in South Sudan, especially last year, with the crisis in Sudan, a very huge influx of refugees came to South Sudan.
As these challenges, we are focusing on several key areas. Expand and provide quality education for all. We adopted the open door policy for country necessitated for refugee children to freely interact and study with the host children without discrimination.
Benon Mukwaya, Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Another very memorable picture there.
Farmers in the Mbarara and Fort Portal region are increasingly embracing biogas technology as a sustainable and renewable energy source. One of the primary feedstocks for biogas production is cow dung, which is readily available and abundant in rural areas.
By utilizing cow dung to generate biogas, farmers can reduce their reliance on fossil fuels, decrease energy costs, and mitigate environmental degradation. In the fight against environmental pollution, locals in Fort Portal and Mbarara have turned to biogas from cow dung for cooking and agricultural purposes.
Planted by trees, okay? I was cutting several trees for firewood. In a month I would cut 3 trees, okay? Big trees. And of course you can imagine the cost. It is my tree, employing someone to fell it, split it, transport it to here.
According to locals, biogas has also helped reduce health problems associated with using charcoal and firewood, which primarily affect the lungs.
Yes, I used to tell people that this is how my lungs are. Because when the walls inhale, they also inhale.
The lungs.
This is how my lungs looked like.
And even the bulb.
Look, no, that one was changed.
It was changed.
It used to be black.
For daily operation, biogas production requires 12 jerrycans of water mixed with 5 basins of cow dung, as explained by the beneficiaries.
Ezo mukaga na jerrycans 12 z'amazzi. You mix. Nanga echi container kino. Oteka mu jerrycan emu no mixing na jerrycan basin emu no mixing na jerrycan zimeka 2. Buli day, if per day. Every day. Mukaga.
In Randum village Mbarara, Mzee Abel Naimanya and his family have been using this system for over 2 years and have praised it for minimizing deforestation and promoting sustainable agricultural practices.
To cook, when you are using it, it is very easy to cook. When you want to take tea, as you have been here, as you have seen here, when you are here now. When you use biogas, it means that in a short time, the biogas has been, it can do what you like.
Expanding biogas adoption to larger scales can enable entire communities to benefit from this sustainable energy source. However, farmers may need training and technical support to effectively operate and maintain biogas systems.
And using the firewood most of the times, like let's say in a rainy season, whereby rain is all over the place, people can't collect firewood because the trees can be wet, that's what I can say, so they can't collect firewood. Despite the program's success for many locals in rural areas, some challenges, such as water shortages, have been highlighted. Crispus, Ainitwe, Joseph Moyingo, UBC News.
Thank you, Crispus, and thank you, Joseph, for that report. Now, at a rally held at Ntawo grounds in Mukono. National Unity Platform President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu emphasized the importance of transparency and urged his party members not to ignore corruption. He called on his supporters to accompany him to Masaka on Friday.
Despite a heavy security presence to ensure safety and business continuity in the city, the event faced organizational challenges, including a last-minute venue change that dissatisfied many NUP members, as highlighted by Council Lukman Segai. Kyagulanyi's journey began from their offices in Makerere Kavule, traveling through Gayaza Road to Kalaji and navigating various inner village routes under police guidance to avoid inconvenience. He finally reached Ntawo grounds, where IGAD supporters awaited him. During the rally, Honorable Betty Namboze Bachireke addressed the crowd, urging them to pray for the Kabaka of Buganda while condemning unfaithful leaders.
Era tusiba tusaba Katonda olw'obulamu bwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka. Ate nga waliyo abantu abamu abatukuba ku nsoloboto butetubuuza Kabaka waffe gy'akola ki? Ayi Katonda nannyini ggulu tusaba owonye Ssaabasajja.
Leader of the opposition, Honorable Joel Senyonyi, pledged to work with parliamentarians to ensure transparency and eliminate corruption within the parliament. He highlighted on the ongoing effort to impeach the parliamentary commissioners as a starting point. Kyagulanyi reiterated his commitment to addressing corruption within the NUP and emphasized that he would not hesitate to discuss the Kabaka's condition as it concerns them as leaders.
Oboli kanyamanga edi mutwe, oboli wakitiibwa nnyo, oboli mulungi nnyo, oboli munaddiini nnyo, tewali gwe tujja kuttira ku liiso basibo ne banyama.
He confirmed his upcoming visit to Masaka on Friday and urged his supporters to join him. Benon Mokwaya, Jamil Sekajja, UBC.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries remains steadfast in their support for farmers across the country, promoting agroecology through healthy food initiatives. State Minister for Agriculture, Fred Bueno, highlights the implementation of the National Organic Agricultural Policy aimed at guiding organic practices.
Efforts are underway to formulate laws enforcing the policy, ensuring its practical implementation. The ministry pledges ongoing collaboration with organic farmers to advance agroecology and health food initiatives.
As government, we have put in place the National Organic Agriculture Policy. It is in place to guide, in a broad sense, the practice of organic farming.
Addressing over 200 organic farm exhibitors at an event organized by Rusid Organic Institute in Busimbi Sub-County, Mityana Municipality, Minister Bueno stresses the importance of utilizing organic fertilizers and sustainable farming practices. He warns against deforestation, emphasizing the need for tree replacement to safeguard the environment.
You have two choices. You either now bring in chemicals and put those chemicals into the soil, or you use the method of organic farming, where you put back life into the soil to generate a fertility. And we are saying that this other method of organic farming is safer than the other method of chemicals.
Samuel Nyanzi, Director of Roasted Organic Institute, praises the government's commitment to combating hunger and increasing household incomes through support for organic farming. He urges farmers to utilize their land for agriculture to prevent land grabbing, which threatens food security efforts.
Organic agriculture or natural farming. Waliwo ebigambo ebituzaamu amaanyi nga President waffe Omwagala abyogerako. Bwakubiriza abantu okulya emmere eyaffe. Bwe yagamba abantu nti mugende mulye muwogo, abamu tebakitegeera. Naye emmere y'ekinnansi, emmere yaffe obukupa obuwulidde obukitiibwa nga bulina omugaso. Muwogo alina omugaso, lumonde alina omugaso. Kale President waffe bw'avaayo n'agamba nti mulye muwogo, nze mwebaza.
The one-week organic exhibition, themed promotion of agroecology through health food initiatives, underscores the importance of sustainable farming practices for a healthier and more prosperous future.
Now, hundreds of pilgrims who flock Namugongo to celebrate Martyr's Day fetch water which allegedly has healing powers from a man-made lake at Namugongo Martyrs Shrine. Reverend Father Vincent Lubega says the water is safe and holy, thereby urging pilgrims to fetch it and use it with the faith raised.
Armed with jerrycans and bottles, pilgrims from across Uganda queue to collect holy water from taps installed at the Catholic Martyrs Shrine in Namugongo. Reverend Father Vincent Rwanga, the parish priest of the Namugongo Martyrs Shrine, assures that the water is safe and holy. He urges pilgrims to use it according to their faith.
God uses material things we have to effect His change in people's lives. And I believe, and I'm sure, this water has something special. And I appeal to all people who come to Namugongo. If you don't really need it, just pick it for somebody you left at home. But don't go empty-handed. And this water is free. It's supplied free. Just pick it free and take it and wait for a miracle from God.
Among the pilgrims is Claire Twine, a 49-year-old from Barra Diocese, who has visited Namugongo over 3 times. She shares her testimony about the water.
Nabadde nga ndina olutooke lwange ng'ekikooko kirumazeeko bwe nengatwala nenteeka mu kacupa ka lwenzooli nenfuuyirira mu lutooke lwange ekikooko ne kigenda. Nze mpa obujulizi bw'amazzi gano getusena galimu omugisa.
Another pilgrim, Jeremy, from Nebi Diocese, also shares his experience.
I have been taking this water. This water is so wonderful and it is having so many blessings. Because when you take it, you can even put it in plantations or in your gardens. You power it there because it is full of blessings. Then when you grow those crops which have already powered this water, it can also grow very well. It changes. Even you, when you are sick and you take it, your life changes. And then when you give it to the person who is also sick, and then you pray to him or her, he can also recover.
However, observations reveal that the water from the man-made lake has a green color, raising concerns about its safety for consumption. Father Vincent Rwanga explains the situation.
One is with clay. Clay is the best material to contain water. So when we are renovating, I was present and we put clay. So what you see as dark, there's nothing wrong. It is a clay. I've never seen a white clay. It's also darker clay. But the water, if you look at the tap, it comes out very clean. And people are using it. Just some even drink it, and I've never seen anybody sick with it. So this water, we believe it works miracles in people's lives.
Despite these concerns, pilgrims are encouraged to collect the water as it is deemed safe and holy according to various testimonies. On the Anglican side, a similar environment is observed, with the Right Reverend Rauben Chisembo urging Christians to walk their talk of faith.
Coming here is just historical.
but we shan't get any blessings from here because I've come to Namugongo. No, that's the difference between us and some of our sisters and brothers who think that when you go here, some of them will bring jerrycans of fetching water. I think this water is special. It's not special, it's ordinary water. It will not add anything or separate anything from you. The issue is accepting Christ, because these martyrs died for Christ, not for themselves.
However, despite these assurances, a team from the National Water and Sewerage Corporation is on site. Meanwhile, the business community in the area sees a surge in activity. Some attribute this to financial hardships, while others note a lower turnout of pilgrims compared to previous years. They remain hopeful for increased business leading up to the main celebration on 3rd June.
Business area feya nti mu nnaku zino ezisooka tubeerawo nga tukuumye ebifo naye ennaku zaffe Saturday, Sunday, Monday wetusuubira okukola kasente akategerekeka.
Guli gwasingako ku guno guli gwalimu ssente nnyingi osingako ku guno abantu bangi naye baavu tebalina ssente.
The week to 3rd June is not only for the pilgrims, but equally the surrounding business community. To them, it's tapping into resources that keep surfacing every year. Justin Nakami, UBC News in Namugongo.
We've hit refresh with Castle Lights. A premium new look. With the shiny silver label. An innovative cold indicator. A premium green neck label for a crisp and easy drinking beer. Fresh new look. Experience the fresh new Castle Light.
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
And now onto the business scene. Government is in the process of reviewing and harmonizing the country's tax policy. This revelation was made by the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to Treasury under the Ministry of Finance, Ramadan Ngobi. He made this revelation today while meeting officials from Uganda Manufacturers Association in Lugogo.
Officials from Uganda Manufacturers Association raised several concerns to the PSST that they want government to address. Among them, to waive off penalties imposed on them while implementing the electronic fiscal receipting system.
The government needs to be there first. I wish you could do that on all primary industries which we are going to identify.
They penalized me 6 million just because they did not have the paper. But in the system, we have already connected. It doesn't make sense. Now, you're insisting that he should have the paper. But what was the role of interfacing the system?
Okay.
The PSST, who was attentively listening to the concerns raised by the manufacturers, acknowledged the need to improve the country's tax regime.
If UMA is not consulted, I can't allow that as a tax policy. UMA, you are at the core of defining what can work. This period when we are carrying out the clear dialogue and the education, tax education, and then, but also to review the law. Because I think some of the penalties were so harsh. I know you can penalize someone, but you don't kill them.
Gobi also called for transparency among the business community.
Never invite government to your business. And the only way not to invite government to your business is by being transparent. with the government, ensuring that you don't hide things.
Uganda Manufacturers Association has proposed a number of interventions that government should undertake to spur economic growth of 12% from $55 billion to $550 billion.
Can you imagine that now a number of factories can run without connecting to the grid, small and medium industry, by using the sun? This is what we are talking about. You bring down the cost, and we are talking about the export potential to the entire African region.
Uganda Manufacturers Association is targeting to double the manufacturing value of GDP from 8.3% in the 2018 to 2019 financial year to 16% in the 2029-2030 financial year. Diano Olweng Peters, UBC News.
And into sports, a former Newcastle defender Stephen Taylor has arrived in the country at the invitation of Motherwell School Sports Academy. Taylor will, during his visit here, tutor Uganda's youngsters about soccer and other matters like education that are pertinent for life.
One of the finest defenders to ever don the black and white jersey of Newcastle United, Stephen Taylor, has arrived in Uganda.
My target, Sam's target now, is to hopefully bring about one of the best young talent that Uganda has now and showcase him and give him an opportunity and a big platform to European football, which will hopefully be a domino effect and open the door for more Ugandan players.
Taylor is here at the invitation of Motherwell School Sports Academy.
We expect, among the things, during his presence here to enter into memorandum to see in various ways how the school can forge partnership to develop the sports academy to the international level.
He will interact with players this Saturday in what they say will be a game changer in the lives of the youngsters.
They will conduct an international clinic, sort of like an orientation. So the school will benefit together with the community, and also they are coming like an opening to many more other partners to get on board.
Taylor follows English Premier League stars like John Barnes, Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman and Alan Shearer that have visited Uganda.
And with that, UBC News Tonight has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company this evening. I'm Lorene Masika Kazimoto. Have yourself a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Martyrs Day is commemorated in Uganda on 3rd June annually. The day commemorates the 45 martyrs, both Catholic and Anglican, who were killed on the orders of Kabaka Mwanga II, then King of Buganda between 1885 and 1887, for their refusal to renounce their Christian faith. On Monday 3rd June 2024, Nebi Catholic Diocese will animate the celebrations under the theme, "But as for me and my household, we shall serve the Lord," Joshua 24:15. For the Anglican site, the Rwenzori cluster, which comprises of Munyoro Kitara, East and South Rwenzori, plus Masindi Diocese, will animate the celebrations under the theme, focusing on conforming to the truth of God's Word, Romans 12:1-2. Join us for the live broadcast of the celebrations on Monday 3rd June at Namugongo.
National Heroes Day of Uganda takes place on 9th June every year to commemorate the brave people who laid down their lives during the Ugandan Bush War that took place between 1981 and 1986. This year, the 35th Heroes Day will be commemorated under the theme Hail Our Heroes, a secure Uganda is now reality. On Sunday 9th June 2024, all roads will lead to Mpenja Church of Uganda Primary School Playgrounds, Mpenja Sub-County in Gomba District. Join us to witness heroes from different parts of the country receive medals to recognize their contributions to the betterment of Uganda from His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who will be the chief guest on National Heroes Day. All this will be broadcast live on your national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Professional guidance.
There is no special antiretroviral therapy that is given specifically for discordant couples.
And of course, politics.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for Anita Monga Tayebo?
That is laughable. Why would we pay when we have nominated them as SEC?
Every party has been represented in Uganda's parliament for 10 years. We only
by one MP, you yourself.
And my daughter, Susan.
Every Friday 9 p.m. it's One-on-One with Michael Jordan Lukomwa on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
PDM, changing lives. Situated just 20 kilometers east of Kampala, Mukono district is a dynamic peri-urban hub home to a diverse population of over 700,000 individuals. It is the district where the spirit of progress and community resilience thrives. However, amidst this vibrancy, 18.2% of Mukono residents grapple with poverty. Recognizing the need for comprehensive development, Mukono district embraced the Parish Development Model, PDM, a visionary initiative aimed at fostering the well-being of our people. With nearly 500,000 rural inhabitants, Mukono district eagerly embraced the PDM to uplift livelihoods and empower communities. Through the Parish Development Model, beneficiaries received 1 million shillings, which has helped her expand her chicken farming business.
Nga wano we waka wange wenkolera emirimu gyange ndi mukyala mulunzi ndi mukyala mulimi nunda enkoko enyongerezaako n'embizi natandikira ku nkoko 10 kati enkoko ezo bwe nafunamu amagoba genfunye nezira ku nkoko 2 zino ze bamazeemu ze mulabako wano kati enkoko ezo 2 nagenza okubaliriramu nga ndaba nfissaako sobola okuleeta enkoko emmeka okuleeta enkoko 3 zino bibiri nagenza okubaliriramu nga ndaba nfissaako emitwalo